Hello everyone and welcome to this new instalment of Talented Tuesdays. We're joined by, of course, Natasha Regan. Hi Natasha.
Hello.
And by Frankie Badacsonyi. Hi Frankie.
Hiya. Thanks so much for having me on.
Fantastic that you agreed to come on. Really happy about it. So Frankie has been playing a lot recently. You got your FIDE Master title very recently, didn't you, Frankie?
I did exactly. Yeah.
And what we've got today is a game from a tournament you played in Budapest not so long ago, right?
Yeah, just in September, so last month. It was just the last thing I did before going back to university. I wanted to just squeeze in one more tournament, so I thought I'd take
always time for one more tournament.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, Budapest, that's a nice city, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you get to see around?
Yeah, exactly. Because one of the days there's one game, so I just made sure that I would actually take a break on that day and go around and see Budapest, which, as you say, it's just a beautiful place. And I've been there many times. I actually went there for this tournament last year with a friend, so I sort of know it quite well already. So yeah, I always like going there when I have the time.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
We'll ask you a bit more later about where you go. Just one question also before we start, because you've started university. I know you played a lot of chess before you went to uni. How are you finding uni and chess at university?
I'm finding university I'm really loving it. It's definitely become really busy this year because I'm having to balance not only the actual degree, but applying for placement years as well. So I basically have, and also balancing having like a social life. So I just have no time for chess whilst I'm actually at university. I try and squeeze in the odd game for Bath Chess Club when I get the chance, because if I get to play on board one, it's worth it because I'll get to play against quite a strong player. So whenever I get a chance to play, I do that. But other than that, I really don't get to play that much. And I sort of leave the chess for when I'm at home and during holidays and try and focus.
Your holidays are absolutely jam-packed with chess then?
Exactly. I was playing just all summer, just the whole summer I was playing. So,
lovely.
So yeah.
Oh,
when I'm at university, I get to play like the 4 NCL and maybe the odd tournament at Christmas if I'm lucky, and that's about it.
Are you going to be spending your Christmas holidays in Hastings, or?
I think I was pushing my luck a bit last year because it was my first year, but I think I have to be a bit more responsible this year. I'll see how I'm feeling about the work and about chess at that point, but no promises. Basically, is the answer.
Brilliant. And this time you've got a game here that you played against the German IM, Jonas Hacker.
Yeah, this guy was the second strongest player in the field. And going into this game, I mean, I was basically really pumped because the first 3 rounds were pretty average, below average. I drew twice and then lost the game with white to a lower player. So already basically the pressure of any kind of norm was off, because at that point I needed to get 6 out of 6, which at the time felt pretty unlikely, but I almost did it somehow. Like I was pretty close in the end. So I wasn't really thinking about the norm or anything. I just wanted to enjoy playing at this point.
Brilliant.
And this guy was just also very solid. But in the round before this, I was basically completely dead lost, like out the opening. Like I walked into some preparation and was literally, it was like +3 after about 10 or 15 moves, and I was down 45 minutes, and I just got the biggest like gift of all time. He just completely fell apart at the end. So I went from sort of psychologically, I was already defeated during the game, thinking I'm on 1 out of 4. I've just lost 2 in a row. This could be an absolute nightmare of a tournament, to I'm suddenly on 2 out of 4, and I've just, I'm not even losing any rating, things like that. So I was just in a really good mindset going into this game.
Yeah.
And so should I just start going?
What time of the day was the game? Did you? Yeah. Start in a minute. But,
So yeah, I always play D4 really. That's my go-to. And the Catalan is basically what I've always played for quite a long time now. And yeah, he played this line with the check, and in general, I don't enjoy playing these with black. I really don't understand sometimes why people play these lines where you grab onto a pawn, but you just have a miserable life kind of thing, where you can't really do anything. Like the kind of position we get in the game.
Matthew's an expert in the Queen's Gambit accepted.
That's a bit different. I'd say that's more sort of, just a rock solid opening. But these lines, I can never understand why people play them, especially if he's playing against, like, he's a higher rated player. He wants to beat me.
Yeah.
And he's just going for this sort of really passive position where he's just waiting for me to do something.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So he played this line with
his name's Hacker, but he's not
exactly. I know exactly.
He's solid.
Yeah, I mean, he was fairly predictable. He played like 2 or 3 different lines against the Catalan, so I was expecting this. And I mean, my general approach to the openings, I don't know that much theory, and I don't love going for the main lines. Like, basically, there's a ton of theory in like this.
This one, yeah.
If you've seen this, and the theory just goes on and on and on, and I just don't know it. And A3 is sort of just a low maintenance alternative that I like playing, where you just get very typical Catalan structures, basically. And yeah, it is a pawn sacrifice, but I mean, this is all theory up to this point. And Queen B2, the point is that I basically want to move this knight from F3, and the best square for it is D3, which is the case quite often in the Catalan.
Yeah.
And yeah, just to make sure my D4 pawn is defended. This is the kind of position I'm talking about. I mean, I would hate to play this as black. Like, I would just never go for this kind of thing. I always want a bit more. I want my pieces to be like breathing kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're just going to spend your life trying to get in C5, and if you don't get it, then you're just passive somehow. And
C5 or E5, and often it comes with like giving the pawn back, and then if it works out, you're equal, and if it doesn't, well, you'll see like kind of what happens in the game. If you go for it at the wrong moment, it can just go really badly wrong. I think I slightly mixed up the move orders. I think I probably should have started with Rook C1, but I don't think it makes a huge difference.
No, I think they're equivalent, really.
Yeah, it should. I mean, it should transpose, because, like, I'd say 9 times out of 10, someone will just play Knight D7 here, just Knight BD7, which is the main line, and then just the point being to stop Knight E5.
Yeah.
But he went into quite a long think here already, and I was already quite surprised. Like, what could he be thinking about? Because even if you haven't seen the position before, I mean, like Knight D7 or Bishop B7, it seemed like pretty natural moves to me.
Yeah.
But he just, like, basically the next like 5 moves or so, I was just not predicting his moves at all, but not in like a bad way. It wasn't like I was missing all the resources. Like, sometimes I feel like when my opponents keep playing moves and I'm not thinking about them, that's a bad sign. But it was more just like, he's just playing really weird moves. And I just wasn't expecting them at all. So he started with Rook A7, which just wasn't really on my radar. He thought for just under 20 minutes and played this, which just looks a bit strange. Like,
so presumably he's trying to get it off the long diagonal and maybe reroute it. What, to D7 is he trying?
Yeah, that seems like I wasn't exactly sure. He could be going to anywhere. Like, he could be going to E7, he could be going to D7, he could be going to C7 to try and play C5. I wasn't 100% sure what his idea was, but I mean, even if that was his idea, he's just not in time. Like, I'm in time to get my knight to D3 before he gets in C5 or E5. And to be honest, I think I played a slightly lazy move. Like, because I knew after knight D7 that the right move is just Rook C1, I didn't really think about the difference. Like, now he's not covering the E5 square. I think I should basically just go knight E5 in this position and just take advantage of his slightly strange move order.
Okay, yeah.
And now, obviously, if he plays knight D7, he's hanging the C6 pawn. And I'm ready to play sort of just the easy moves, E3, Rook C1, knight D3, just the typical setup. And so, yeah, I went Rook C1. I don't know if it's a huge deal, but then he again just played another strange move, knight D7.
Yeah, it's I guess he was sort of thinking about, he's going to play F6. I guess that's what it seemed like to me. He's going to play F6 to stop knight E5, and then he's sort of going to try and maneuver his pieces around. Maybe that rook's going to swing somewhere over, but it doesn't feel like you could really. It can't really be. You're not really going to be able to achieve that much, you would have thought somehow. But it's vaguely interesting, but it's weird. Yeah.
The first thing is that it's all really slow. I mean, in this game he went knight d7, knight b6, knight a4, and I mean, what did he achieve? His knight on a4 was just rubbish. It was just doing nothing. And then I mean, even if I literally give him like 4 moves in a row here, I don't see how he solves the problem of his pieces, which he really needs to do. Like I can't see an easy way of doing it, and especially staying up a pawn. He's gonna definitely have to give his pawn back at some point in order to do that. So yeah, knight d7 again. Like I couldn't predict his moves. So now I thought, okay, I'll just stick to the usual plan of just covering the useful squares, c5 and e5, and just putting some more pressure on the c6 pawn. I'm never actually interested in taking the c6 pawn because I don't want to give up my amazing bishop. Yeah. And I mean, if he can get his bishop unopposed on b7, then his pieces might just come to life.
So you're basically just trying to block him so he can't really do anything.
I'm just trying to slowly squeeze him and just slowly make progress.
Oh, that must be annoying for him.
Well, yeah. So it's just really strange that he went for this kind of position against me when he obviously wants to win, but he's now. I mean, if I do nothing, he can't really do anything. As long as I don't allow him to break out with like e5 or c5 at a good moment. Yeah. If I basically decided I want to just sit and wait and just shuffle around, I don't see how he gets out. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, that wasn't my idea. I like my position. So yeah, he went then knight b6. I guess he's kind of threatening knight a4 because then my d4 pawn would be loose. So that's why I just played a useful move e3. At every single in the final round of the British, I was playing with white against Siva Mahadevan, who's an Indian IM. And we basically had a really similar kind of position. It was another DC4 Catalan. He went with early A6. And we got something really similar. And I was doing well. And I suddenly allowed him E5 and he just came to life and just crushed me. Okay. So I'm sort of always, just every single move in these positions, I'm just calculating E5 and C5 and just making sure that they're good for me. And I think he just got a bit impatient here and he went E5. I think what you said, Matthew, makes sense. I was expecting something like f6, which just setting up e5. I mean, even if he slowly goes rook e7, rook e8, or maybe puts his queen on e7 and then goes for it. Like, I think he panicked a little bit. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I guess he thought you were going to bring your knight to d3, so he'd play e5 and just stop that from happening. I guess that was the reasoning, I suppose. But
I mean, if I go knight d3, he can still just play e5.
Yeah, he can still play e5. Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think this is. I wouldn't play knight d3 if he went f6. I mean, I'm not really sure what I should play here. I mean, it's not like e5's the end of the world for me. I'll probably end up just getting my pawn back, but at least he can move his pieces. Probably be quite useful to throw in a move like king h8 as well before going e5.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it's. I mean, you can just try and play around, but at least getting hold of that e5 square, you know, and gives his rook a little bit of movement as well. It's it's. You can play it if you enjoy it. This sort of position, you can play it somehow.
Suddenly after f6, his rook on a7 actually looks quite good, to be honest.
Yeah, makes some sense at least.
Makes a bit of sense. So I don't, and also the good thing for him, although he's quite passive, like I also need a lot of moves to actually do something.
Yeah.
So he has got it's not like I've got some kind of mating attack. He's got enough time to organize e5, I think.
Yeah.
So
no, I would, I think he needed to show some patience there. But that said, I think he saw knight d3 coming, and he thought, I'll stop it, open my light square bishop. Yeah.
Yes. Even a move like queen e7, if he doesn't want to make a committal move like f6, like queen e7 is also reasonable, I think. Just accepting you're a bit passive, which is, I mean, if you're not willing to accept that, you can't play this line. And then just slowly trying to break out. But so he went for e5, which it's the move you want to play in this position. Like you want to open your bishop up and you want to play e5, but I think he's just got the timing completely wrong. So I have to take, of course. I'm not gonna leave the pawn. And then he goes rook d7, which is another. It's just a weird looking move to me. Like he's opened his bishop and now he's just blocked it again. Just to make a one move threat.
Yeah, I would have liked to have brought that bishop out somewhere. F5, e6, whatever, just to then at least you feel like you've achieved something with e5. But I mean, I guess he was maybe a bit worried about knight e4 coming in quickly, and just wanted to. Yeah, he was just trying to desperately to do something quickly. But
well, I mean, if he was worried about knight, I mean, rook d7 forces me to play knight e4. If that's what he's worried about, he's even if I wasn't considering it, now he's making me play that move.
Yeah, no, it's true.
I think he also mentioned something about how he thought after knight e4 he could play a move like knight c4, but I can just take it because there's a pin on b8.
Oh,
so
he's
talking about something like this, but this never works.
Oh dear.
And he's got a problem on b8.
Yeah. I think that's also the problem, I think, of playing sort of like slightly non-standard stuff, right? You end up hanging pieces in ways you don't expect, you know.
I these weird motifs that you're not used to.
Yeah, exactly. Because normally you think, well, of course, a knight on b8 will be defended, but he's played rook a7 and he hasn't played the bishop from c8. So I think that's often how it goes somehow.
We spoke after when we analysed it. We also were talking about bishop f5 here, which I think is quite a reasonable move. And suddenly, knight a4 actually looks like a threat. My queen's sort of running out of great squares to go to, because I mean, often queen d4 could be met with something like rook d7, and I've got a problem on d2, so I have to be a bit careful. Maybe a move like I kind of want to put a knight on d4, like knight back to f3 now, maybe. And then knight d4 looks kind of reasonable. But I'm not 100% sure. But I think this was definitely a better try, at least to ask me some questions.
Absolutely.
My coordination. Like I've still got some loose pieces. My knights are a bit clumsy at the moment still.
I mean, he's just changed the situation. You were going for knight d3. You can't do that anymore. So you've got to think of a new plan at least, you know. And that's just a good, always a good thing practically, you know, at the very least.
And suddenly the d4 squares just opened up. Like, I think sometimes it's not easy to play a move and then just go straight back. Like I've just played the move knight e1 a couple of moves ago. And now I feel like going knight f3 makes some sense. So maybe in the game I wouldn't want to do that. I'm not really sure. I'm just looking at it now. But yeah, so he just went rook d7, which, I mean, I'm not even down a pawn, and we've kind of got a similar situation where all his pieces are just really stuck. And often I found in these kind of positions, his king can actually get quite weak quite quickly. Like when I've got a pawn on e5, sort of f4, f5, f6 if it's one day, or bishop h3. So it was in the back of my mind to sort of not just think about, you know, winning on the queen side, but also just sometimes just turning your attention to the king side. Sorry,
to the king side.
And so yeah, he went knight a4. And I was just I mean, after queen c2, he's gone knight f6 to d7 to b6 to a4. And I don't really know what he's achieved. His knight doesn't look very good to me. It just seems a bit stuck.
Yeah. I think at this stage he was probably just playing slightly random moves somehow, just trying to disrupt you somehow, you know, and hoping something would turn up somehow. Yeah,
and I mean, all his pawns on the queen side, I mean, it's a 3v1, but he can't move any of them. I mean, it's just it's almost like an illusion. Like they're just completely stuck, and they're all just really weak. So I already felt like I might be like objectively winning here. Like I've seen these kind of positions like many times before, and they always just look really good for me, and it's just really hard for him to break out. And so he went queen e7, which I guess makes some sense.
Go like c5.
C5.
And then with the idea is if you take it, he pins.
Like rook c7.
Yeah, presumably there's some tactic.
Oh, that's quite that's
quite clever.
That's clever. Yeah, I mean, maybe after c5 you just put the knight on d6. Maybe.
Yeah, knight d6 is quite nice.
Because you're threatening knight takes b5 and queen a4. That's a sneaky one. Natasha,
if he plays like bishop a6.
Maybe we just go rook b1 or something.
Yeah, I mean, these pawns, he can never move the b pawn because his knight on a4 is then hanging. I mean, these pawns are still just really weak. But I mean, this might not be a terrible practical try, and then just try and play some kind of f6 and just keep trying to confuse me a bit. And try and
I mean, you've got some rook d2s. Yeah, I mean, you know, you can try and if the knight moves from d6, but yeah, I mean, knight takes b5 is going to be a big threat here. It's I think also, in general
goes for this. I mean, it doesn't look amazing, but it looks playable. If you can get the pawn to like c4,
definitely looks like a better try.
Maybe I'm coming quite quickly with sort of rook d1, other rook to c1, and I'm still kind of taking over.
Yeah, I mean I mean the knight on a4 is not great, and he's still got his knight on b8, bishop c8. I mean, I think white must be clearly better here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're still, you're fighting somehow. No, I think c5.
I like
Yeah,
that move.
yeah, it's a nice move.
Yeah.
c5.
Yeah, exactly. It's the move he should be always looking to play in these. After I've played d takes e5, he should be looking at c5. Yeah, he went queen e7. Like maybe he wanted to play c5, but it's too. He didn't want to hang the pawn or anything. And also, I guess he's attacking e5. So yeah, the moves are just quite natural. I mean, f4 makes a lot of sense. And now I've got ideas of playing knight g5, which does look fairly difficult to deal with. It's not an easy move to deal with because, like, I want to play knight g5, provoke g6, and then just go knight straight back to e4 and put the knight on f6, basically.
Yeah, that's going to be very nasty.
Like, because I mean, if it's my go here, that's literally forced. So he already has to do something about that. I thought maybe he'd play h6, but I think the move he played was also, it was understandable. It's already quite a tough spot for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went f6, and the only problem I have sometimes in these positions is I've got too many good options.
Yeah.
To the point where I can't really pick one. So I think I could play knight d6 here and just sort of take the exchange. He sort of has to take it at this point because I have ideas of taking on c8 and then going bishop h3, skewering the rooks. I can also play the move I played in the game, knight f3. I can also play immediately bishop h3. Like, there are so many decent options here. And also,
knight f3 looks great. Knight f3 looks really great.
Yeah, that's what I went. It's just the natural move. I mean, the knight's done its job, kind of thing. I threatened to go to d3, and now I can just go back to f3.
Yeah.
Do you have a tip, Matthew, in situations where there are lots of good choices? Do you just pick one, or have you got a particular?
Yeah, no, I mean, in general, the most important thing is not to let yourself get confused. I mean, you just have to, that you spend so much time and actually start causing yourself problems. You've got a great position. You've got to put the pressure on the opponent. So I think, the most important thing generally is to, if you see lots of good ones, then choose the one that, choose one that you like the most and go for that fairly quickly. I mean, in general, actually, when you look at what engines do nowadays, they're not really going to grab material quickly. They're often just, piling on the pressure. So, I mean, a move like knight f3 appeals to me, right now a lot more than a move like knight d6 simply. Pile on the pressure, put the pressure on the opponent, and, he's still got to find some moves, and none of them look nice somehow.
Exactly.
So it's, but it helps, just to be calm. But I mean, the general idea should be that you don't give yourself a problem, you give the opponent a problem with his position.
Yeah. That's the approach I was trying to take. I didn't see any reason to do anything really committal just yet, like going for any kind of exchanges. I mean, my g2 bishop is obviously much better than his c8 bishop. There's no reason to swap those off with like bishop h3. And yeah, I tried to take a similar approach of just like I've only used 14 minutes up until this point in this game. I was just playing really sort of the moves were just quite intuitive. I wasn't calculating loads. I was just kind of moving. Just playing natural. I thought the moves were too natural, but knight f3. This was my first like relatively long think, just because I mean, if I can play a move like knight d6 and just end up a clean exchange and it's winning, I'll go for it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I thought it's still not particularly clear, and I don't need to rush. So yeah, I just went knight f3, just an easy move.
Yeah.
He went rook d8, which is given as a mistake, but it was the move. Sat at the board, it looks like the natural move. I mean,
I think it's the move that you're going to play, right? You're not going to play any other move, I don't think, particularly. Yeah. So yeah.
And I just need to be like a tiny bit careful. Like I've had really painful games where I've had positions like this good, and if you just make one small error in this kind of position, and he suddenly just breaks out and his position comes to life, it can turn bad. So I really need to just make sure I sort of hold him and don't let him just break out with his pieces. So now I thought was the time to cash in with knight d6. It felt like the right time. And I mean, he basically hasn't got a choice but to give up the exchange. As I said, I've still got ideas of taking c8 and going bishop h3 straight after. And he just doesn't really have much choice. And I mean, he offered me a draw here, which I was just
dear me.
I felt disrespected. to be honest. Now I decided,
me.
all right, now
you got mean.
Now I'm gonna beat him. Like, how can you offer me a draw here? Like,
dear me. Yeah.
And I mean, again, the moves are just really easy. He's attacking E3, and I think the next stage to winning this game is sort of.
Did you think for a long time about the draw?
I wasn't thinking about the draw. I was thinking about my move. I mean,
right.
I think I probably thought for a couple of minutes here because I had the move in mind already. But I think my next plan is to start opening up his king and pushing my majority. So E4, E5 just seems like the right plan in this position.
That's really good. Yeah.
And again, like I said, his pawns on the queen side are just completely immobile. He can't move it. He can't move the B pawn, of course, because of his knight. And if he ever moves the C pawn, then he just weakens the other pawns. The
queen B3 check already is going to be
exactly. Yeah. So he just can't really do anything with his majority. Meanwhile, mine just walks forward really easily. And now, I mean, we've literally got to move 23, and he hasn't developed any of his queenside pieces. He finally got a chance to move his knight. But yeah, just rook E1, just quite simple, just renewing the threat of E5. And he went knight F8, but this doesn't really do anything. I just push on with E5. After rook D8, I just called his bluff. Like, I couldn't really see the problem with taking another pawn. I don't really need to. I also can play, like, I think taking F6 and then knight E5 is also quite convincing.
Yeah. But I mean, why not? That pawn is there, and
I mean, I have the time to calculate, and if I can't see a concrete problem, like, my king just feels too safe for there to be a problem with taking the C6 pawn. Like, if we had this kind of position with no light squared bishops on the board, maybe I'd be a little bit more nervous. But I don't see the problem.
Yeah, but I mean, you've always got, even, there'll always be intermezzos with E takes F6 at some stage in any of the, if ever he finds anything weird or whatever. So no,
exactly. It can't be working out for him. And then he made, like, I mean, it's a tough spot for him already, but once he swaps the queens off, it's pretty hopeless. I mean, he's already down material, and he's just, after rook B1, he's just got concrete problems. He's losing more material. He went bishop A6. I just go bishop F1, and it's also nice. I just never allow any rook D3 counterplay as well. He went B4, but this doesn't really help too much. I went knight D4. He took on E5, and bishop D5 is just a blunder, really, because bishop E6, I have knight C6, and he's got a rook and a knight hanging at the same time. So he just
rook D5, knight E7 check. So
exactly.
So very nice,
brilliant.
So he resigned. Well, there we are. That served him right for his draw.
I know. After he offered me that draw, I was like, I'm not even going to think anymore. I'm just gonna crush you. But I mean, the rest of the games of this tournament were quite a similar. Like, I'm in general, I can be quite a streaky player. But I'm not used to moving so quickly. But I mean, this time situation was the case in a lot of games. I was just finishing with like 50, 55 minutes, like, sort of just playing really, like, intuitively, and just playing with, like, complete, like, full confidence that I was just gonna, my intuition would tell me the right moves.
I find that, like, when I feel like I'm playing really well, then I do play quicker than
exactly. Like,
and you're just sort of in the flow, and that's nice.
It's a good feeling. It doesn't happen very often, and I hope it lasts.
You've got to enjoy it and make the most of your points when you've got it. That's definitely true.
Yeah, exactly.
I had one more thing to ask you, Frankie. Thank you for showing us the game. I know you're your brother also, Stanley, who's also been on the show. He also plays chess. So I wondered if at home you two play a lot of chess, or what it's like going to tournaments with him, or what it's like having a brother also good at chess.
I think we're really lucky to have. I think we kind of realized how lucky we are to have someone not everyone has a sibling who's firstly a player, but also a similar strength player. So it's always productive. I can always talk to him about games. We can always play practice games. It's just, I think now that we're a bit older, we definitely appreciate it a lot more. And every time I go home, we'll play loads of blitz games, kind of thing. And
nice.
It's just really, it's really, really great. And we've been going to tournaments a lot. Like, we always go, obviously, to, like, things like the 4NCL together, the British together. We went to Northumbria together, and you know, it's if someone's had a bad game, someone's had a good game, having someone to pick you up and help you move on to the next game, it's always nice, because going to tournaments on your own, it's good, but it can be a bit lonely.
Yeah.
It's always nice to go. I always prefer going with a friend or with Stan.
Definitely.
And it's just really, really great. We play loads of games. When I'm here, we don't play any online games or anything, but in person we'll just sit and play Blitz for like hours, really. At a time.
Yeah, and it's really cool. You're about the same strength somehow, eh? So it's really
well. Well, if you ask me, I'm better, and if you ask him, he's better.
I was pitching it in the middle there, you know.
I'm saying similar strength just to be civil for the video, but I don't actually agree with that. But the good thing is, I mean, we started the summer off my rating at the start of the summer was like 21, like 70. And he was like about the same as he is now, maybe about 2,300. And so the gap was about 130, and now the gap's 2. So I managed to cut the gap down. So he can't, every time I tell him I'm better than him, he can't just say, look at the ratings kind of anymore, which is good.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah.
Well, what fun.
And it's nice being in the same 4 in the CL team. We're kind of always the same. We're always sat next to each other. We're usually boards 2 and 3 most matches, kind of thing. And we can sort of, it's good that we can decide which board we want to go on based on, you know, I want to have white against X. I want to have black against this player. Kind of thing. So it's just a really nice situation, really.
Yeah, brilliant.
Okay. Well, thank you, Frankie, very much for showing up to that game. I really enjoyed it. And the way you kept control there and didn't let him do anything. He was here.
Surprisingly smooth.
Passive pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was a nice game.
Yeah, thank you for being on the show. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I've been Natasha Regan.
I've been Matthew Sadler.
I've been Frankie Badacsonyi.
Yay.
Thank you very much.